Child on the street, would you walk on by or would you stop and try to help? Well, in a unique social experiment for ITV1's Tonight programme, presenter Esther Ranson discovered that most of us actually wouldn't bother to stop, and that's because we're too scared that our actions might be misinterpreted.
It does concern me that no member of the public is even asking this child, are they okay? I mean, they actually had to walk around him.
After 453 people had walked past the lost little boy, we were relieved to hear that a man had informed the shopping centre manager.
Well, child protection expert Mark Williams-Thomas, who is involved in that programme, you just saw him in the VT there, he joins us now. Mark, adults not intervening when children need help, surely it's instinct to want to help a child, and it's very worrying that people just walked on by, as we saw in that programme.
No, absolutely. I mean, an amazing experiment, because what it showed is that actually society now is so scared to go up and speak to children for risk of perhaps how they're perceived by the people. Perhaps sometimes, and this is the case, is actually being told not to, you know, by people in local authorities, charities, actually saying to them, you shouldn't go up to a child, you know, because you never know, some allegation might be made against you, to the degree that children will fall over and they won't even get picked up. A child crying doesn't get cuddled by a teacher or something like that. We've got into a society now where we're so risk adverse and we're so scared that actually we put children more vulnerable.
Do you know, I was on the high road the other day near where I live, and I stopped to help a child who was crying and on his own, and his mum came out of the shop, grabbed him and then kind of looked at me with an absolute look of disdain, like I'd done something wrong. So I can see why people would be not very willing to help. But I mean, it's just very scary, isn't it? What kind of people are we becoming?
Well, it's so scary because the reality is that the people that are the most vulnerable are the ones that we need to protect. And the children being abducted is so rare. You know, only 7 children abducted a year, yet we're so fearful that those children will be abducted. The greatest fear that children have is actually within the home environment. But when they're out in the open, you know, there's so many dangers around there. What we need to do as adults, you know, adults not connected to that child, is look after them. If we see a child that's upset, worried, concerned, go up to them, talk to them, sit in front of them, get eye contact, and if necessary, go and find someone else in a position of authority who can help.
Were you really shocked that only 5 out of 2,000 people stopped to help that child, or did you expect it?
No, to a degree I expected. I didn't expect that number, you know, and what surprised me was that actually adults had to walk around the children. There was children there, and they actually had to physically walk around them so they didn't walk into them. That's really scary. I
mean, do you know what? It's not just children that people won't help nowadays. I think we maybe are becoming a society of meanies, because we did an experiment last week where our reporter fell over and we wanted to wait and see how many people actually helped her. Only one person, I think, stopped to help her, and that was Russell Brand, the comedian. I think he probably only did it because she was very attractive. But I mean, are we just becoming a hideous society?
Well, I think a number of things. One, we're such a busy society now. We walk along, we tend to ignore what's around us. We just are in our own little world. We're quite a risk-adverse society, so actually we don't want to put ourselves into that situation. We're a litigious society because everyone's looking to be able to sue other people, and we're so scared of what other people will think about our actions.
So really we need to change the way we think, don't we? We need to be not so worried about what might happen.
It's a new mindset. We need to be putting out to people out there, don't worry about, you know, necessarily about what other people think about you. React to your instincts. If a child's fallen over, pick that child up. If a child's upset, comfort them.
Okay, Mark, thanks for joining us. Thanks very much.